J-Term. I'm doing another animation. So if you don't know what J-Term is, it's a place where, well, we get to choose what we want to do. There was like baking and a bunch of other crap. So there was one that was called board games. And we had to do a board game project. It was pretty boring, and I didn't really know what to do because I missed a day. And the first day it was fine, second day fine, third day fine, but then fourth day we had to do the board game. So I did get started with it when I got at home, but I just didn't bring it. I thought that it was really crappy, and I didn't care once and for all. And I didn't care if I didn't bring it at all. But what I didn't know is that we really had to bring that board game, like seriously had to bring that board game. And it was that important that she had to tell me, oh, you're not allowed to be playing if you don't have your board game done. So she asks me, which board game, all that stuff. And then I tell her, well, I don't have it. She asks also if I didn't have if there was anybody home, I meant, to grab it, and I said no, so she gave me this dead stare. And then she took me to this room. I had to sit in one of the corners, and yeah, all I had was a pen and a pencil because I didn't have any materials. I couldn't bring anything with me. I didn't even have a sheet of paper to bring. And it felt like detention. No, not joking. So I sat down in the room, pretty dark. It wasn't dark at all, but everybody else was there, chilling. There was also another person there, and they didn't have it done. I asked, can somebody please give me a piece of paper because I didn't have one. And I even asked if I could have a big poster sheet of paper, but he said that he brought that one. And then somebody or some dude or guy, he said that he had some pieces of paper. He decided to give me 2. Thank you so much, because I did not have any paper. I barely got any materials, and thank you for giving me 2 pieces of paper. And he was like a grade over me. No, he was like in 8th grade and stuff. And it's like middle school. So, I just moved on, kept drawing with like trying to make my futuristic board game that I had in my mind. That I was that I was gonna draw. So I just did that, blah blah blah. I taped the 2 pieces together. Later, after lunch, we did everything else. And then, finally, I was working on the cards. Since I got so bored, I decided to draw on my pieces of paper and cards, because that was how bored I was. And, I had nothing else to do. Drawing cards and thinking of things to write on the cards was pretty hard. Finally, we got to go home, and I was so happy. This was the most worst day ever. Besides, this is only like our first day, our last day, and we had like a whole 2 weeks to do this, and it was the worst.